And of course, you couldn't make up a Premier League all-time XI without a midfield of Lampard, Gerrard and Moussa Dembele. It's really quite amazing how far his reputation has come from players of the game saying how good Moussa Dembele was. Now, there's of course a phenomenon in football where watching the game doesn't quite equate to how good a certain player's ability is. And Moussa Dembele is a prime example of that. After all, actual ability with a football, like, for example, everyone goes on about his shielding, his strength, his ball control, his inability to lose the ball, doesn't necessarily equate to, in a football game, you're just trying to stop the other team from putting a ball in the back of your net and put a ball in their net. And sometimes, like, someone's game doesn't quite equate to the way they play the game. And I feel like Moussa Dembele is one of these people. Clearly, amongst other footballers, they must think he is incredible. But to a viewer of the game, he might not have quite impressed us as much because week in, week out, he's not scoring the... But it's got to the point where his reputation precedes him. Like, obviously, we've got to the sarcastic stage now where...
Referee is Modric, Moussa Dembele and Vieira. And again, I don't respect whatever you say.
Fine.
Okay, and you're three?
Moussa Dembele.
Okay, so Dembele, because there's...
And this has all started from footballers themselves saying he is one of the best footballers they've played with or against because of their inability to get the ball, because of how strong he was, because of how he glides across the pitch, which is amazing. But as a viewer, we don't see that as much because... And ironically, Paul Scholes has been brought up in this conversation because, like Moussa Dembele, a lot of players back in the day, like your Barcelona players and your Brazilian players, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember off the top of my head, would say that Paul Scholes is one of the best players they've ever played against. Paul Scholes was the best England player ever. Paul Scholes' passing ability was second to none. And so it's like inflated his ability. I'm not saying Paul Scholes is anywhere on the level of Moussa Dembele. This guy was incredible. But his reputation has almost been inflated and bloated by the best players of the game saying he was one of the best players he played against. I wonder what other examples of footballers naming the best players they've ever played with, for example, your Maradonas with your Gary Linekers, because in reality, these are the best of the best, so surely their opinion matters. But in Moussa's example, this has just gone way out of hand, and even in the last 6 weeks, this first came up about 5 years ago. The last 6 weeks, his reputation has exploded. Get this man on the stock exchange, will ya?